Well, we've got the sun coming through the trees now. It's really, really nice. I'm here at Southfield Reservoir. However, it's a slightly different view from previous videos, and that's because I'm over in the woods. I've just come over here to peg one. Now the wind's hacking in, so I'm just going to swing around quickly. There we go, peg one. If you've never seen this area before, that is where the split is, where it goes into the canal. Now I'm here today with Ian and Simon. They're fishing a little bit further down there, down on the dual peg 8 and 9. The reason why we call it that is basically because those two pegs, there isn't a tree in between them, so if you're ever fishing with a pal or a mate, then that's a nice peg, because obviously you can sit and talk to each other all day, whereas the rest of the pegs are a bit like this one behind me, which is peg 2, where you're completely isolated. So if you do want to come and have some peace and quiet, or you're not talking to your mate, then these are the better pegs. But it's an interesting session today because there were some weights over here yesterday. The match was won over here yesterday with £40. So we don't really know what to expect, but these lads really fish commercials more than anything, and they're here today to kind of go through rotating lines. Alright, so they're going to fish two lines, feed a short line and a longer line and rotate them. The target is, as you'd expect with it being Southfield Reservoir, Bream, but they've got loads and loads of open water there. There's a bit of a ripple on it. The sun is out, it's really, really nice down there, but we think there are going to be some fish there, but we think it's going to be a bit of a test. Ian's second fish, second chuck, wasn't it, Ian?
Yeah.
How long that been in? 9 minutes?
9 minutes.
9 minutes, second cast on his long line. His other fish was actually a bit bigger than that. We got the wind here. It's just eased off a little bit. It's been left to right, blowing down into this corner. This is peg 9. We're over in the woods. There's Simon. He's only had one cast, one fish. Got his on about, what were yours, Simon? 7 minutes?
Yeah, 7 minutes.
7 minutes, another good fish. So it's a nice steady start. The sun's coming out now. Look at this path and what the lads have done. It's a while since I've been over here. Brilliant job what the lads and the work party, Andy Renton and Mick Axon and all the lads have done. You can hear the birds whistling. That wind's just eased off a little bit. Peg 10, which is the next one down, actually won yesterday's match with about £40. So we're into some fish anyway. So Ian's had 2 casts, he's had 2 bream. Simon's on his second cast. He's had one, he got one early on. And both lads have got a line fed short as well. They're both fishing about 40 metres, just over 40 metres. That's Ian's, just over 40 metres, and they both fished a line. They've got a line in at about 15 metres, so that's going to be interesting. We're going to be topping that up shortly before we go on it. But the conditions look ideal. It has been overcast, but how nice is it over here? So yeah, we're expecting it to pick up. Well, he's had a line bite, he's had a liner, and then another indication. He's just cast that out. That's a good fish, that one. On his long line. Well done, mate. He got one, it had only been in a minute. That's a very good fish. Let's go and have a look at it. Let's have a close look at this one. How long had that one been in here?
7 or 8 minutes.
How many?
7 or 8.
7 or 8 minutes, just nice and steady. Feeling his way into it. He's not had a look short yet. He's only been fishing about 40 minutes. 30 minutes. That's a good fish, that one. Simon has gone for a sneaky look on his short line. He's topped his long line up. So he's the first one to go on his short line. That's been out there about a minute or two. I don't think he's had a bite as yet. Go on, hold him up for us, Ian. Let's have a look at him. Show him off that he's a good one, him. Just fishing a nice little plastic horizon feeder. Just cutting through that wind nicely. That's a heavy fish, that one. Fantastic, mate. Well done, pal. Brilliant. So there are some feeding. However, I mean, Ian's had 1 or 2 liners as well, so obviously he's caught those fish out there at 40 odd metres, but it's showing there's fish out there, but he is getting liners, so we're suspecting they might be on his 15 metre line, which is about there. But I think he's going to top that up and spend a little bit longer on that long line. It's not fed any worm yet either, so that'll be interesting when he tries that. Well, that wind has just about died. Ian's on 3 fish now. Simon's into 1. He had a cheeky look on his short line. You didn't get an indication on that, did you? No sign on his short line. So he's just gone back on his long line. And I thought he was going to go straight round. It didn't. It's been out there. I don't know if did you time this cast?
10
It has. It's been there 10 minutes. It was a 10-minute cast, but it's gone round just before. And that's another good fish. He's just changed his feeder actually from a side-weighted cage to a bullet style. Is it a horizon feeder, I think? There we go. Well done, mate. However, so that's Simon's second. Ian's got 3. However, they are getting some indications, so we're sure that there are some fish out there. That wind's died. I would have preferred it to continue. Go on, hold him up for us, Simon. Let's have a look at him. Is it just lipped? Lovely. They're all in good fish. No small fish today. Not as yet. Is that your first chuck on a piece of worm? Tail of a dendra. Still haven't introduced any worm yet. I think Ian's about to. Just going to push it now on that long line. Just give it a bit of a push. Give it a bit of a nudge. If it responds, perfect. If it doesn't, well, they've left some bait out there ready so that they can come short again. Have a look on that short line. See if there's anything there. And then they've left some bait out there long. It's actually getting sunnier. The birds are whistling more. The wind's dropped. It's almost like summer. That's Ian still on his longer line. Yeah, we're sure it's going to get better. It'll be interesting what happens when they have a look on that short line. Mix wise today, we're on a really dark mix. On the F1 dark, there's a tiny bit of F1 green in there as well. Just a little bit. You can just see those lighter coloured flecks there. That's a really sweet mix. You can see the bits of green in there, can't you? That's really sweet. I can smell that. It's really fine. It's great. So in other words, the only real feed that the lads are feeding and putting out there are the freebies, which are pinkies, dead reds, and a bit of chopped worm now. But yeah, we're expecting some to rock up, certainly on that short line at some stage. First cast for Simon on his short line. He had a couple of liners. That wind's really dropped. I didn't expect it to. That's a skimmer, that one. Just fishing about 15 metres. We're expecting this short line to get better, but like I said, the wind's dropped and there aren't many bites. Ian's on his short line now. He's had a couple of indications. It's been 20 minutes now on that line. He's not had anything on that line other than a couple of liners. So he set his long line up before he came off that. So I'm sure if he's not going to catch anything on that in the next 10 minutes or so, he's going to be going back long way. Hopefully he's going to catch one on that visit. And speak of the devil, it's just gone round. Looks like it's going to be a skimmer, this one. Is that a perch?
Yeah.
He's found a perch. They're harder to catch on here than what Bream are. You know that, don't you? There's only about 7 in. So he's got a perch. Not a great sign on that short line, obviously. Not fed any worm on that line either. What was that? Double... Did you say double maggot?
Double dead, yeah.
Double dead. So yeah, it looks like he's going to be setting this line up again and then going out back long. Simon's in. First proper fish on his short line. That wind has just come back a little bit and it's actually coming a little bit more in. It looks absolutely ideal. That's a good fish. It's been out there about 3 minutes, something like that. So we're actually neck and neck now. Is it 5-all or 6-all? 5-all. 5-all. It's a tight pound match between these two. There's definitely going to be some bragging rights going on here. Go on and hold him up for us, Simon. Let's have a look at him. Good fish, aren't they? Lovely. Nice one, mate. But yeah, that wind has just come back. It's from the left and in. It looks perfect. We're just getting into the latter stages of the session now. We're hoping they're going to rock up on this short line, but still been getting odd line bites. So it's definitely telling us that there are a few fish moving around. But yeah, it just feels absolutely spot on. He's just cast in, gone back out on his long line, and it's come straight to the top. He had a few indications, just adjusted the way he was setting his tip, and that's resulted in a hook fish. Been out there for probably 4 minutes, maybe 5 tops. This has come straight to the top out there. It's coming in over the top. It's a bream, no doubt. And this is going to push him in front, 6'5". Ian's staying cool about it. He's had a couple of liners on that. Do you think it's going to go? It's going to go. Look at that, that's another good fish. Well done, mate. That is a good fish, that one. Let's have a look at him. So yeah, we expect him coming in on that short line late on. Just be nice and patient. Beautiful fish. Look at that one. Brilliant, well done, mate. Yeah, not feeding too much, trying to be positive. Like I said, when you're getting liners and indications, even if you're not catching, it's telling you that there's fish there, so it kind of keeps your confidence up. It's your turn next, Ian. It's going to go. It's going to go. He believes. We knew we'd get one. Ian's got one on his short line. Just topped it up. That's now brought it up to 6 all now. This is pressure now. Going into the last hour, which is what we're hoping is going to be the best period. They've set the lines up for this last period now, so it's going to be interesting now. That sun's just going down behind these trees a bit. Still got a ripple on it. Looks ideal. All to play for. First cast back long for Ian. Bit bigger than what we thought actually. We thought it was going to be a roach. There have been a couple of roach caught. And a perch. Yeah, that's definitely a bigger fish than what we expected, that one. Exactly how it should be. That's how the textbook goes. First cast back on the long line, having rested it. Well done, mate. He's just come off his short line because he dragged that bag out. So he's definitely bagging up. I shouldn't say that. I know. But no, he came off his short line, he rested it. Obviously he didn't think there was going to be any fish there. Go on, hold him up for us here. Lovely, mate. Much bigger than what I thought that was going to be. Is that an hybrid? Who knows? Can't tell from here. But yeah, it all counts. So what's that bring the scores up to?
7-6, isn't it? 7-all.
7-all. 7-all with about 40-45 minutes to go. But the key is both anglers now have both decided to come off that short line, set it up, and so they're both fishing long. Sam's not had a touch long on that visit, but obviously now they're just investing this time in hopefully making that short line stronger for that last period. Well, it's all changed. Simon's just had one on his short line. He's cast that out, and that's literally only been there 30 seconds. It's gone straight round. There's barges going past in the canal. You can hear that. That's the canal, that, for those that don't know the venue. So yeah, that wind has got a slightly stronger. It's absolutely textbook as far as I'm concerned. Conditions from the left and in. Looks ideal. Peg 10 down here is the end peg. Ian's still out long. So it looks like one or two fish have now come in onto that short line, just how we predicted. Well, Ian thought the short line was completely dead. Having dragged that bag out, he's hardly had an indication on it. And then from nowhere, he's just cast in. It's gone straight round, no hesitation. Another good fish. Just shows you, they're definitely not getting their heads down grazing though today. Simon had them two. And then nothing again. That's the second time that's happened. 2 and then nothing. Yep, brilliant, mate. No keep nets today, obviously. As you can see, you are allowed to use keep nets here, but we preferred not to. So what's the stakes now? What's the score?
8-7, isn't it?
8-7 now. It's going back and forth, into the last few minutes now. The wind's dropped again. But it just shows that these bites are just coming out of the blue now for whatever reason, but the fish are definitely not settled today on either line. It's just been picked one off, or two if you're lucky, and then nothing. Rotate lines, but that's what today's been all about. Just on that short line. Nice little plop. That wasn't in long at all. So interesting to see if he gets another one on this cast. Well, we were just thinking it was going to be a single fish visit again, and from nowhere He's had a really positive bite. This looks like it's a good fish again on his short line. Simon's peg just dried up. He has those two quick fish. He had one liner after that and then nothing, just completely gone. So another good fish that one, Ian, mate. That wind's just come back. Whether that's a coincidence that he's had his bite on that wind, we see it a lot on these venues. Or some of the bites, especially on that short line, can coincide with when the wind's on it. We'll never know the exact reason, but it's a good fish, that one. So yeah, last few minutes. Ian's gone 2 fish in front now. The pressure's on. Well, that's been yet another very rewarding session. We thought the fish were there, and even the periods when they haven't caught anything, they've still been getting liners and indications. And the great thing with that is, obviously you're not catching fish, but at least it's telling you that there's a few fish there. So it keeps you, making you want to make those changes. And you know, on days like this, that's when it's most rewarding, because it's not, you know, you're not just casting the feeder out and the rod's getting towed in every cast. You know, you've got to make changes, you've got to work for it. But when you get a reward for it as well, that makes it that little bit more special. So it's been another fantastic session. I hope you've enjoyed me sharing this with you, and if you'd like to see more of these uploads of me just sharing what we're getting up to when we're out on the bank, then don't forget to hit subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time.